Fantasy Goats. How are you this evening? Look at that smiley. Look at that smiley rhino. And the War Chief smiling. We're all smiles here because guess what we've got today on a Tuesday? We've got the NFC South off-season grades. We are about 3 weeks away from the draft, so we're going to include what these teams actually might take a stab at least their biggest need. But yeah, we'll get into the grades for each NFC South team. We'll also do a little fantasy spin at the end of the first segment or so. We'll give you a little fantasy outlook, fantasy take, something spicy. I don't know, maybe something not spicy, and then then from there, Rhino, I think that maybe we'll do like some news and notes, I guess, right? We'll do a little news and notes section because there is some news and there is some notes. But let's get with these grades. I'll go first.
You go first.
Why not? I'll go first here. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to give the Panthers. I wrestled around with this one also. I wrestled around with some of these teams, and I don't want to be too hard on them, but I don't want to just give them like B's and A's because they're doing well and because the Panthers actually won this division. I'm going to give them a B minus. What's really saving their bacon here is that they did sign 2 dogs on defense. So now what we're projecting out of this team is being very good at 3 levels. They signed Jalen Phillips to a big-time, big dog 4-year contract. They signed Devin Lloyd. Now there's 2 camps here with Devin Lloyd. Like, okay, the Jaguars got rid of Devin Lloyd. There's something like they let him walk. They weren't that impressed with his inconsistency. Well, now there's the other side of it where Devin Lloyd is gonna plug a nice hole for them at the second level linebacker spot. So I would lean, and I give him a B minus because I'm leaning more towards I think the sum is greater than all these parts now. So their sum is much better, and now you add in an all-pro corner. Their defense is starting to look a little bit formidable. Where I'm getting a little weary, War Chief, is because they let Rico walk, which isn't that big of a deal, but they're now thin at running back. They are kind of still trying to figure out another wide receiver. I know that they've got 2 young dudes, young potential studs. They could still maybe use another one just to add some depth. I think they'll wind up doing that. And where else did they do? Oh, they did really well on their line as well. They signed Welker, right? They signed Welker from the Green Bay Packers. So that I may just bump them up right now. No, I'm going to leave them at a B minus. I'm going to leave them at a B minus because it is the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to leave them at a B minus because they're good. They need to have a really good draft. They're going to have to do a running back, I believe, on day 2. They're probably adding another tight end. Maybe they're adding Kenyon Siddiqui in the first round. Maybe. Dave Canales is an offensive coordinator / head coach. Play caller, head coach. And so that draft needs, that's basically it from where I'm sitting. They didn't do much otherwise besides Luke Fortner. It's a B minus for me. I think the draft's going to be very important for them. They're going to want to do again the running back. They're going to probably want to do another wide receiver that may do a tight end. And that's that. That's the Carolina Panthers looking to run it back again, and standing in their way would be
hold on. I don't think they need a running back. If they do, it would be a late round running back just for depth because I think they're good with Brooks and Etienne or Etienne. Everything's coming out of the camp news and coach speak. They're speaking pretty highly about Brooks.
Well, let's put a pin in that. Let's definitely talk Jonathan Brooks and coach speak Dave Canales at the owners meeting in a little bit for sure. Do we want to who's competing with the Carolina Panthers? It's their division. Oh, the Bucks. That's right, the Bucks.
The Bucks.
The Bucks.
And all in all, I'm probably gonna give the Bucks a B minus also. I think it's not their fault, but it's kind of just the timing of everything. Like Mike Evans is 33, Levante
Mhm.
David was 35, and those are two big losses to the team. I think those are bigger losses than I think the play will show. Yeah, I just look at them losing two big leaders, and I don't think they really have anybody there currently. Maybe aside from their quarterback that really can kind of take that mantle, and they're probably hoping he takes that mantle. The Buccaneers didn't really sign anyone crazy. They kind of did everything in house. Cade Otton, a couple guys here and there, but all in all, I just think Mike Evans' leadership and Levante Davis' leadership is going to be missed for at least this next season for sure.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
I like the Gainwell. I like the design Gainwell.
yeah,
He's an upgrade from Rasheed White, I think. And plus, you get the special teams outside from him too.
absolutely. Like I said, just for their full off season, like I think, like I said, we could probably give them. I'm giving them a B minus, but you also give them an incomplete grade because if they come around and give us a good draft, you know that could definitely bump it up to a B plus. But well, I guess time will only tell with 1 month away.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, man.
Another wide receiver in the first round. Um, the
God.
Bucks. I mean, but the Bucks have shown us that they're a pretty good organization. They think that they have the quarterback right for the last few years. Let us know what you think, Goats. If you're an NFC South fan, Bucks, Panthers, any of these four teams, the Falcons. Let us know in the comments what your grade would be for their team. Don't forget also, if you like this content, if you like all NFL draft, off-season, fantasy, dynasty, you name it, give us a like and subscribe to the Goats channel. Join us.
Do you guys think that they draft a cornerback first in the first round? They lost
Nah,
Jamal Green.
I don't think they do. Only because they've been kind of preparing for this. They drafted Ben Morrison pretty high last year in the second round. He was a first round pick before he got injured.
Hmm.
I know they like Zion McCullum, and I know they have another guy there they're really fond of. They have the bodies to replace Jamel Dean. Honestly, I look at their roster and honestly don't know where to go. Because I think the biggest issue that they really have is like injuries. If only their offensive line could have stayed healthy, if only Bucky could have stayed
Right.
healthy, if only Mike Evans could have stayed healthy, Kalijah Cansey could have stayed healthy. I look at every position group and I say, if they could have just stayed healthy. So they're almost in a 49er position. Like, can you just stay healthy so we can see what your full team looks like for 17 games? We can really put a barometer on how good you are in each position.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm also curious to see what the schedule looks like. Not that
Mhm.
there's a real issue within their division, but they've also let's see exactly what this looks like also, because again, are we seeing now a changing of the guard, or are the Bucks going to reclaim that? I think the schedule will have a lot to tell with that, as well as, of course, as pointed out by the board chief. The draft is also going to tell us a lot about this team. Well, Rhino double header coming out of the
Go ahead
Rhino.
and let's go. I'll go Saints first.
Saints first.
I'll give
Oh,
them
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what? Just all four of these teams are just a very mid off-season form, I think. And I'll give Saints a C plus. They did some stuff. They moved some money around so they can make some signings. I like Etienne, but what's his role going to be? There's some smoke going on that he might be taken out for Kamara for passing downs with some passing downs. I think that's a crock. I don't think so. They signed Noah Fant and Dave Edwards. They didn't do much. Julian Blackman, they didn't do much, but they did stuff because they were able to free up money to make some moves. The A chain is a really good
They,
move that upgraded the running back room. Now draft comes, they're going to go Olave. Or they need a running mate for Olave, so they'll go Tate, Tyson, or Makai Lemon, or they can go offensive line.
oh,
But I think they'll go receiver, and then they'll build the trenches.
I think the Saints and Alvin Kamara. If they wanted to, why wouldn't they have moved Kamara? And I don't want to turn this into a full-on like diagnosis of the Saints front office and Alvin Kamara, because like the book on it last season was, you know what, they presented him the opportunity to go, and they would have sent him to Denver, and he wanted to stay with the Saints. I think Alvin Kamara is going to wind up staying on the Saints, but. Go on, continue, because I think it's damn interesting that they actually did sign ETN. I don't know this HN stuff. ETN, and I think that they may want to just do something for Chris Olave, help him out, it's really helping Tyler Shucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll do that, and they'll build offensive lineup to protect him more, and they'll build a defense because they lost one of their best defensive backs in Taylor. So that might be second round, but I think they'll go heavy offense and then defense.
Saints.
Because I believe their center retired too.
So what was the grade? Kind of like a B- or a C?
C plus. That's
Yeah.
I mean I was being generous in the C plus.
They didn't have much money to work with either, right? So
No,
I mean
they didn't.
I feel like they're being a little harsh. David Edwards is a really good player, and of course Travis Etienne is Travis Etienne. I think they've filled two big needs that they didn't really have last year. Like I said, improving offensive line was, of course, first key, because we got to see what we got with Tyler Shaw. We got to see. I thought they put themselves in the best position last year, where they took a quarterback in the second round, where if it worked, oh, we got a quarterback for cheap, and we didn't have to spend our draft capital. If it doesn't work out, we'll just throw him away, because I mean, no one really believed him in the first place. But he's kind of worked out, so now you got to build around him, and whether that be, wide receiver, weapon in the first round, but also, like you said, they lost Cameron Jordan, they lost their corners. They could very well go defense early in the draft. They really have a lot of positions still to fill, and unlike just like the Bucs, they're looking for another leader on the team.
They need another leader on the team. That's slowly missing because it's young.
Yep.
Young. The offense. I mean, a lot of these was sixth year in, right?
Fifth,
right?
Yes, fifth, yeah.
Okay, so fifth, and then same thing with ETN. It's a young group. They can still turn around and re-sign Jordan. He may be at a veteran's minimum, but I don't think he'll take that.
Not to get too sidetracked. Travis Etienne has a longer contract than Kenny Skywalker signed with the Chiefs. Just throwing that out there. Let's not forget. Now, this room, again, this Saints running back room, with the addition of ETN, they drafted a dude last year, Devin Neal, have Audric Estime from New Orleans West, and I mean they're
Miller.
Someone's
IR Miller.
Someone's losing a chair there. Unfortunately, you can't carry 5 running backs, I don't think. Let's round out the grades with the Falcons. Oh my gosh, the Falcons team.
Falcons. I'll give them a C plus too. That I'm being generous with that because so they have a new head coach, Devin Stefanski. I'm not real high on him. I don't think his offenses have been very relevant as of late. They signed Tua, great, but he's an injury away from being out of the NFL. And you have Penix, who's coming off ACL. What's that going to look like? Then they let Mooney go, and they hired they signed Johan Dotson and Olamide Zacchaeus.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
I was close. Damn it.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
I was close. I got the exact part right. Damn it. And then they signed Brian Robinson to take Algier's spot. That nothing about this screams they're gonna be in first place. They're gonna be fighting for first place. All of this screams they're gonna be playing for last. And then don't forget the issue with James Pierce,
Oh,
who they freaking traded their first round draft pick this year to the Rams to draft. Who that dude is not coming back. Not coming back. So now what is it? Now the Falcons, that's interesting. What are they gonna do? They need to draft defense, but there's nothing screaming with Jan Dotson or the other wide receiver that's going to make any NFL secondary scared. So they might draft wide receiver.
but it won't be in the first round unless they move up.
In the first round, no, they don't have a first round draft pick.
Yeah, no, they're in a little shitty spot. Yeah, and I think your grade is spot on.
What was the grade?
C.
Okay.
Right? C or C or C minus.
No, I said C.
Sniper, C for the Falcons. They signed. Here's the thing though. Here's what is keeping me up at night. You know that we've been begging kind of sort of on Tua for like the last few years based on he's taking his hits, he lost his whatever fastball he had on his arm. Why do I get the sense that he's not only going to start for the Falcons, but actually do well now in a different environment, a different team, different city, different division, or indoors? He won't have to be in Northeast in December. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that's lining up for the Falcons to actually be pretty good, or at least be competitive. Let's not forget who they got. They got the dog. They got Bijan. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to, and they got Drake again, right? So, but the C, yeah, their two biggest moves were in special teams, but not like guys that are like not the gunner.
Well, they signed Jan Dotson to replace Darryl Mooney. And Dotson, I mean, he's like an enigma a little bit because he's shown that he can produce given the chance, but then he falls off the cliff.
Yeah.
I don't know what's your thoughts on Kevin Stefanski and his offense. Am I out of line thinking that it's been very mid for the last couple of years?
No, so I looked at because I was asking what the grade was because I couldn't remember if it was low enough. I don't think your grade was low enough. I think your grade should be a D minus.
I said being generous.
Yeah, their grade is a D minus, borderline F. From the head coach hire, terrible hire. To the James Pierce incident, fail. No first round pick, fail. The only thing that's really saving you is you look at the roster and go, man, that roster is really good. That roster, at the end of the day, all the mistakes they've made, they drafted well. They have elite players. They have Drake London, who's I think is a top 10 wide receiver. Bijan is Bijan. Kyle Pitts was the second tight end last year in PPR points and in total points for tight ends. I mean, they have a really good team, but for some reason it just doesn't work. And so their big signing this offseason was to go, okay, we have a left-handed quarterback, okay, who's injury prone. How do we fix this?
Let's get another left-handed quarterback.
Let's get another left-handed quarterback who's injury prone. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Everybody's used to them. Everybody's used to pitting still the ball, so we got to get the same kind of quarterback.
But
God,
also injury prone. Can we get a healthy quarterback in the building? I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask for to support Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I don't think that's too much to ask for.
You got Matt Ryan.
Now it's okay. Then there's okay. Here we go with that. Cool, Matt Ryan.
I also think that's an F move too.
Operations, right? He has no experience doing that.
Yeah, that's also an F move. I'll continue to say this. Just because they play does not mean they know.
Exactly.
And like you said, he has zero experience doing this. I don't think he has it in him to make some of these tough decisions that these general managers and guys who run football operations do. But it's year one. We'll see how it goes.
He hasn't done well, in my opinion. they kind of dragged ass a little bit, making a move, hiring. I mean, a lot of it. Okay, I'll actually I'll go on record saying I don't think they should have fired Raheem Morris. I think they should let him and Robinson go one more year and see because they were cooking a little bit,
The last 4 games.
Yeah. So there was something there, but
Well, here's my take on it, and then we'll spin this right into the fantasy while we're here because this is where the darling is. Okay, so Bijan, is he going to repeat that performance from last season? Chances are it's going to be close. It's going to be close, but they're going to come to the realization, okay, maybe halfway through. If they don't, here's the thing, because his camp is also going to want an extension for him, but they're going to come to a realization at some point, like, look, we have to strip this thing down again. We're never going to get over the hump. Even if we win the division, we may not be. We're never going to go on the run that you, Matt Ryan, went on the last time we were in the Super Bowl. And they're going to wind up trading Bijan. It may not be this year, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. They're going to want to pick up the asset.
Context of a noise. You got a lot of noise coming out of your mouth right now, son. A lot of noise.
No, I mean, but I understand where you're coming from.
At least this is my noise. At least I'm the one who's coming up with it.
And I know I'm 100% in agreement with you, and I think Kyle Pitts is the first domino. I think they're waiting to see how the team kind of progresses. If they're winning games, we might see a contract extension in season for Kyle Pitts. But if things go bad, we can see Kyle Pitts on the block, and he'll be the first building block to go.
And running backs like Bijan Robinson do not grow on trees, and there's none coming out of the woodwork for the next couple of years, especially next year's class.
But you two fucking all-stars just had this fire episode this past Friday. It's up on the channel, the RB discussion regarding Jeremiah Love and whether he should be selected this high or is projected to be this high, whether it's really worth it. And the argument is, it seems as though it's not.
No, okay, but you're okay.
Because
a one-on-one rookie draft, he's worth it. Yeah, he just went. I'm in a startup mock draft right now. He just went at the bottom end, of round 2.
No, not dynasty.
Okay, but I'm saying dynasty is 101. No, he's not 101. But when we were talking about that on the show, we were referring to dynasty, not redraft, not keepers, not anything else. In rookie draft, he's 101.
Yeah, but then you talk about the real life draft,
right?
32 teams. As far as 32 teams go, no, he should not be picked as high as Bijan. He should not be picked in the top 10. But the way it's actually looking like it's now, he may not be picked in the top 10. But no, he's not the level of player. He's not that type of Bijan talent.
And the couple starts I've done, he's gone in the second and early in the third, and that's probably good capital for him. At least people are learning not to draft a rookie running back in the first round like the last 2 years with Genty and year before.
Oh, you threw me off track. But Sniper has a good question. I don't think he had the same workload. I don't think Bijan had the same workload as Saquon did. That's why.
Oh yeah, and he was on the Campbell's.
If I had it. The Madden,
he didn't have the same workload. He didn't have the 410 touches.
He didn't have the same workload, right?
No,
not even close.
Not even close.
Algier gets a good amount of he got a good amount of touches in that offense.
I would assume probably Brian Robinson will probably be
checking for her now. But okay, now let's circle it right back. So Kevin Stefanski. You asked, what do we think? I mean, what do I think? I think he's probably a good head coach, a good leader of men. He's obviously very professional in a really lousy situation. I think he's going to use Kyle Pitts, and he's going to use and lean into the running game with now Bijan and Brian Robinson Jr., both B. Robinson Jr.'s. And I think Drake London, I think Olamide Zacchaeus. I think they're gonna. I think we should expect to see a little bit of a decline in production because Kevin Stefanski doesn't really necessarily like to throw to his wide receivers. Granted, he hasn't had one like Drake London, so maybe there is some positive hope there. And I mean, other than that, the Falcons got work. They got work to do. I thought it was the curse of 370.
No, 370.
Not 307. And that was mainly also attempts, not touches. That was like getting over 370 actual carries. 307. So that's my outlook for fantasy for the Falcons. I'm curious about what's going to happen with Drake. I think Bijan is still, he's still like 1A running back in the league right now. So, he's going to be drafted. He's going to be treated as such in real life. He's going to be drafted as such in fantasy. And in the dynasty realm, he's basically a non-movable asset. Or I don't know what kind of haul you'd be getting for him. And those are just silly trades at that point. Silly trades. Don't be, it's okay, Snipes. It's okay. What are we looking at for let's go back reverse order. The Bucks or the Saints. One of those guys.
Free agency, fantasy wise,
Fantasy.
Tyler Shaw. Tyler Shaw is going to be a top 10 quarterback.
Cool. Oh, it's a prediction now.
Yeah. Punch you right square in the middle of my chest. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm not that high on the Saints quarterback. I think it either is. I think it could absolutely fly high, but I also think it could be also just a crash. We kind of seen this story a couple times where a quarterback kind of caught some fire in his rookie year in the late half of the season, gets super hype, and then he's completely done. For the Saints, though, I am watching Travis Etienne. I looked at the way that Kellen Moore used Saquon Barkley just to his absolute very best, and Kellen Moore gets the most out of his best players. He does, and I think Travis Etienne's the second best player on the team now to Chris Olave, and I think we're going to see an even better version of Travis Etienne than we got the top 12 finish of him last year.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% with that.
Chris Olave is certainly going to be drafted differently now. I'm looking at Chris Olave. Going to be looking at Juwan Johnson. And the running backs, definitely the running backs. What about the Bucks? The Bucks. Oh shit! All eyes. Bucky Irving. All eyes. Emeka Ibuka. All eyes. Jalen McMillan. Chris Godwin. Baker. There's a lot of fantasy assets on the team. They're going to be drafted all over the place.
Take a swing at Gamewell in the late
Kenny
round.
G.
He could help you win the league that way.
Because
we don't know what's going to look like.
You say late.
It's going to be a three-headed monster.
You say late. What would be what's late?
Maybe 12, 13 round.
War Chief, 12, 13 round. Kenny Gainwell is going to be around the 12th, 13th round.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because I think it goes about 9th round. Because Bucky's going to go in the 6th.
Well, I don't know about that either.
You don't think so?
I think he's going to go high.
There's just so much noise around Bucky right now. I think people will be fearful. If everything kind of, absolutely the dust settles, and I can see a second round, third round pick for Bucky. But right now it probably feels like a 5th, 6th round type of deal for Bucky.
Well, the noise around Bucky right now is the fact that like someone or something, some outlet, perhaps is like stating that he might retire. Right? Is that the noise that we're looking?
You know what? Yeah, I just I was in a conversation about that. That was a fake account.
Okay, well, Okay, right. So let's presume that Bucky is heading into this off season, or he's headed right to mini camps, which are soon, right, or OTAs soon, and he's going to hit the ground running. No pun intended. Let's say all signs are pointing well, and this is where I'll get back to. This is going to lead me into Jonathan Brooks. Let's say all signs are pointing well. Bucky is probably going to go much higher than that, right?
Oh yeah, they'll be a third round pick easily.
Yeah. So yeah, the context around that noise is the fact that he still hasn't mentally or emotionally recovered, and now he's thinking about retiring at the age of 23. He's trying to take a page out of
Chris Borland.
yeah. Remember Richie Rich is remember that movie Richie Rich? Um,
I know the comic book.
there's a comic book. No shit.
That's where the movie came from. Is from a comic book.
Yeah. By the time we were around, it's a movie and a TV show.
I had no idea about that. Rhino is just showing how much gray hair he's got on that chin of his. Anyway, I think I don't. It definitely. It was definitely a little bit of an issue last season. Him returning, then he wasn't himself physically, and the two play off of one another. I think if he's mentally ready to go, I think the physical is in a good place. But that doesn't necessarily change the skill, though. Doesn't change the fact that maybe that rookie season was kind of sort of a one-off, an outlier, maybe. Let's not forget, they didn't draft this dude very high. Doesn't mean that they don't make it, but still. That was always my issue with Bucky. Always. You didn't get the draft capital in a bad RB class. Same RB class, if I'm not mistaken, Jay Goat. Same draft. It was at the same class as Jonathan Brooks.
Yes.
Okay. Now Jonathan Brooks got day 2 capital. I think he was the first, if not the second running back off the board.
First running back taking him.
Barely played, or he played a few games at the end of his collegiate season, correct? Or he was just, or he was drafted injured.
He was drafted injured.
Yes.
He was drafted injured. Then he tried to get back onto the field late, right?
Yeah, played like 4 games.
Or he was they were trying to get like ramp him up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And what was the backstory there, or not really a backstory, but I'm pretty sure that what's her name, ESPN, Stefania Bell reported on this or commented on this that she applauded him for saying, "Look, I need more time. I'm not right. I'm not ready." This was well known that this was more upstairs than it was in the leg.
Right.
Well, but yet looks like he may have succumbed to pressure. He got back on the field and not for long tore it again. Rhino tore it again and did not play since.
No.
Now, okay, that's basically well over a year now of rehab and not having an injury. So yeah, the working theory behind it is he's okay physically, but now he hasn't played since 2024. That's why I think the Panthers are definitely going to draft a running back. It's just a matter of where in the draft they're drafting a running back.
But like Rhino said, they took ETN too. Mm-hmm. That's why it's hard for me to think that they're going to take a running back any higher than the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah.
Oh, Trevor.
Yes.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor Eaton. Yeah.
Little bro.
Dan Morgan has been asked so many times about lead back and back by committee, and all he's saying is Chuba is a lead back. Chuba showed us he's a lead back. Chuba. So I mean, I don't think they believe in Chuba. They believe in Chuba, and they believe in Jonathan Brooks and ETN to be his backups.
Yeah.
I thought I think that the Carolina Panthers want nothing but success for their draft pick, Jonathan Brooks. But they're going to have to see how he is now after not playing. They have Chuba. They have their boy. That's their boy. And I was not accounting for the other
But
the other ETN, is he on record of changing or pronouncing his last
no,
name? He's not on
No,
record.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm not believing that shit until his brother says it too. Like if his brother comes out, maybe
his mom
yeah,
comes out and
maybe I'll
says it.
believe
Yeah.
it, but I ain't
Mom
believing
or
that
grandma.
shit.
He's ETN. That's the end of it.
ETN, he's ETN.
Just like tennis Tech. Look at it. It's the same team.
Think back about last year though. Rico Dowdle started taking over a little bit of the number one. It got really close with carries and stuff. So Brooks could, by midseason, be in that spot that he could take over RB1 for that team. Could.
Yeah. So he was until Chuba got healthy, and then Chuba started taking them all back. And then that playoff game, Chuba went off against the Rams again.
Yeah.
And it made it really easy for it to go Rico. Yeah, we'll see you. You know, we
Maybe-
got our guys. We're good.
Maybe they take a flyer late round as you.
It
as
could.
you-
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
sleepers.
No, I'm saying let me finish. Maybe they take a flyer late round on Adam Randall.
Maybe.
Late.
I think Trevor Etienne is that kind of running back
Kinda, sort of.
receiving because he is a better receiver than a runner in college.
All right. Did we cover? We covered the Saints. We covered we just covered the Panthers. We're not talking enough about Bryce. Bryce is up. Bryce is up for at least it's the fifth year being exercised.
Mm-hmm.
Like CJ is up for that same exercise of a fifth year. What have you done for me, Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce is in a spot where this time next year we could be saying, man, we're really excited for the Carolina Panthers' new quarterback, the North Sellers. Like that's what kind of position Bryce is in if he does not, show that he can be a franchise quarterback for the Panthers. I do think you bring up a good point. I don't think nobody talks about this being a make or break season for Bryce.
No.
He needs to be more consistent. He needs to play every game this year like he
did
did against the Rams and the Falcons last year.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. But do you think there's a chance? Because I know Jeb said that Sadiq, and that's a good spot for him. I've seen him mock there a few times.
Sadiq's not making it past 19. He should not.
But I've seen it like Boston or Casey Concepcion going there too.
No, Sadiq is not making it past 19.
No.
They have tried. They have tried with Tavian Sanders. They have tried with Tremble. They have tried with all these other guys. Even from last year, Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame. No, they need a real tight end, like a real tight end that has a lot of ability and athletic and can block well. This a can't miss if he makes the 19.
Yeah. Block well, huh?
Block well.
I think he might be able to block well on the perimeter. I think that's where he blocks well. Out in space. Blocks for the running backs out in space. I don't know if he blocks in line well.
Yeah, he does.
Not based on that size, he doesn't. Not according to NFL Draft Buzz, anyway.
Yeah.
That's just I could probably pull that up right now, but I won't. I'm actually staring at the logo, the tab, but I won't pull it up. I won't share the screen where it says weakness.
Right.
In any event, but I bet you I could see it. I could see him being a good blocking tight end out on the perimeter, up against a corner. That I could see. Jacob, baby! Emmett Johnson to the running back. Nebraska slept on. Jacob, man, I missed the Jacob.
Slept on because he ran a slow 40.
I missed the Bobco, baby.
Slept on.
Yeah, we're getting a little loose right now. We're getting loose. It's okay. We're getting loose. J-Rock Javier. J-Rock, baby. Yeah, we're getting a little loose right now. Because I want the stewards to get a little loose. We've been grinding. We've been working hard. We're working hard for the goats. Just diving into the collegiate. draft process. By the way, if you're new to this channel, you should check out all the stuff that's up on the Fantasy Goats channel. There's a draft series. There's an off-season outlook series. Whatever the outlook on free agency, basically. Free agency grades, what teams need to do to improve, roster construction, all that stuff. And it's all coming to an end. No, it's not coming to an end. It's just coming to a start. Where's Sniper? There she is. George isn't that old. You know, depending on where you are in New York City, Sniper, the apartments are very small in Manhattan and the Bronx. Very small. So yes, thank you for sending me that. Very small, very expensive.
I know we're talking about the NFC South. Can I just put some news from another?
Yes,
team?
I knew we were missing a segment.
Yes, so
the drift
because this week has been the NFL meetings. I think the craziest thing I heard from the meetings is John Lynch say that he expects George Kittle to play Week 1. That is absolutely insane to me. The only reason I brought that up is because I saw Jay in the chat. He said the 49ers need to trade up for Sadiq, but I mean, ain't no reason for them to trade up for Sadiq if they think that George Kittle is going to play Week 1. Like that's a crazy thing to happen just towards Achilles. 2 months ago? Was that 3 months ago?
Just about, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. He's got some, rubbing some CBD oil on his thing. That's working miracles.
Shark blood.
Yeah,
something.
He's hopeful.
I mean, maybe went to Europe and got a stem cell transplant. And
he Peter Popoff water on the Achilles. That's what he did.
He's hopeful. Doesn't mean that it's happening. He's hopeful. I mean, unless then there was this also, like, again, not to spend too much time on it, like, so his Achilles tear wasn't as bad as some of the other tears. Like, there was that. I don't know if that. I mean, George is 32, if not 33, as a tight end. He's close to that maxed out, like Kelsey style, like close. He's close to that. Let's not forget, a lot of these guys come on late. They don't pop their rookie season like Laporta and now start to disappear. And then we get reborn again. Look, it took Kyle Pitts 4 years. When's the next rookie mock draft? We could probably, if it for Dynasty rookie mock, we could probably do one. Well, we got a special guest next week. Chevrolet. Chev 2.0. The return of Chev.
Like a rock.
Chev's redemption is on Tuesday. We could probably do something next week, right, Rhino? And then I do want to get another NFL mock in before the draft. He might not play Week 1, but George will play. And when George plays hard, he plays hard. Sniper quietly loves the Niners. If it's not the Pack, I think it's the Niners for her. She loves Fred. She loves Kittles. I think she loves CMC. He plays hard, and I don't think his body can handle that anymore. Yeah, he's an animal. He's an animal, George Skittles. What other news was what news didn't we get that we got from your ding dong? I can't believe that Rich Eisen has this guy from Pro Football Talk on.
Oh God.
For him to then present his scoops, like this is like him connecting the dots that the league was going to vote on 18 games because there wasn't a date for February 28th Super Bowl, right? There's one for next year in 27, right? At SoFi. So the one in 2028, they didn't have a date for. So now all of a sudden he starts connecting dots that this is what they're going to be voting on. There was no news on that. No news on that. I can't believe Rich Eisen has this guy on. What else was there? The officiating is something serious.
Yeah, and they were told the NFL told the owners and everybody to hush it. Don't be talking about that. They want it mum. They want it quiet because they
Uh,
boy,
I mean
what's
that,
going to happen if it is if it's replacement reps again? That oof.
but then
It'll be bad, and they'll come to an agreement pretty quickly. They usually do.
Yeah,
but didn't they also voted on or implementing like New York being able to or flags being able to be called in
hmm
certain situations that like where it's not in play or it's not like or it's missed, and then they all point into the DK Metcalf situation in like on the sideline with the fan, how that should have been like he should have been like thrown out of the game at that point. So there is that.
Kyle, Kyle Shanahan said that the Rams talked to NFL into having them play in Australia because they don't want to play them at home because the Niners fans overrun SoFi.
Mhm.
Ah,
Shut the hell up.
It was it,
Kyle, so
it was
funny.
like tongue in cheek type of.
Oh, and yeah, and then hey, we should have the Rams play in Mexico, in Mexico, because we're very popular in Mexico, so they should come to Mexico. It don't matter.
It was a good inter. Shanahan was also on with LaFleur, as in Matthew. They're all good friends. They're all friends. It's all fun and games between them.
Everyone was bent out of shape. Well, all the Seahawks fans were bent out of shape because McVay said what about the 2-point play to Mike McDonald while he was having his interviews. Yeah, it's just like yeah, I think you're right. Like they all have their little punches and jabs at each other, and I think it's crazy that we as fans sometimes kind of take it more serious than they do.
I just laughed at it.
There was there was a lot of there was a lot of sound out of Harbaugh. There was good sound out of Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji. Won't get into any of those details. Jets Part 7 is going to drop, but no, I mean nothing that we already didn't know. Let me put it that way. Especially out of the Giants. I think the Giants. I think Harbaugh definitely gave us more to try to run with for the draft and whatnot than the Jets did. The Jets are playing it perfectly. Harbaugh is like, yeah, no, we still have some of those needs. Like, like they're still drafting for need, and he just flat out said it, which is fine. What else? What else from the
There's
owners?
some whispering that the Giants and Odell Beckham have some interest in a reuniting.
Mm-hmm.
Like football game turned heads.
Let him look. I mean, let him finish where it all started for him.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
He's
That's
a good
fine.
locker room dude. He's a good locker room dude.
That's fine. Let him finish where he started. As long as he doesn't move on to another team next season, which I highly doubt. And yes, I think he would be a good locker room guy for the likes of Malik.
And he's also suspended the first 6 games too.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Odell?
Yes, does that still count?
For what? For steroids?
PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
When was this? Last season?
Last
No.
season, yeah. I don't know if it still carries over or not.
It came out about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, that he'll be suspended the first 6 games.
Yeah, he came out and said it.
Yeah.
So we'll sign him in like mid-October then, right? So the thing with Odell, which is I can't really fault him. He's pretty savvy businessman as well. Or he's become one.
Yeah.
So he's gonna squeeze the hell out of it. So if Odell could kind of meet them somewhere in like a nice place in the middle, then might as well just go ahead sign him. It won't be for like any like lousy vet minimum. He's gonna make more than that.
I think does he garner more than a vet minimum. I mean,
No,
yeah, I
not at
mean,
all. And you could show me him running all over the flag football field in the 50
yeah,
yards and making one hand grabs all day long. It's not going to change the fact that, well, what happens when you put on the pads? What happens when you have to, like, really go to work? It's a big difference. But yeah, I'm with you there. All right, motherfucking goats. It's a nice little freestyle episode. Every NFC South team grade. Tomorrow, we'll look into. We only got two left. Two divisions to grade, and then we'll continue on with the rookies. From there, it'll almost be the draft. From the draft, it'll almost be it's go time. It's fucking go time. It's context over noise. Jake Goat Sniper, appreciate you. Here's the Tron Goat, baby. Motherfucking Tron. Here's the Tron Goat. The Bob Goat. All the goats. Oh, you want to leave us with anything besides see you tomorrow?
Nah, man. I'm ready for the draft. I want the draft to happen like this week. I think it's gonna be an interesting draft.
See you tomorrow.
Be a different